It is still Friday, August 17th, and this is another Guy's Daily Drive. Same day. How weird. It is the end of the day. I am delighted. And weird thing was, I didn't even have a full week. I had last Wednesday off to go to the dentist, as I reported in a previous Guy's Daily Drive. But it was successful. I had both cavities filled, small cavities. They didn't put me into too much pain. Actually, there wasn't any real pain at all. A little bit of pinch and a little bit of prick from the Novocaine needle. Not so bad. But I did go to that Kia dealership again. They're in Waldorf, and this is the same place that I got the two key fobs programmed. They had like blank keys inside of them, but I just didn't have the time to get the keys cut. So I figured I would go there and see if they could cut them for me. And I got there, and the guy at the service desk was very reluctant to give me a time on how long it would take. And I didn't really understand why until he told me the way that these keys are cut. This is what he told me, that they're like etched with a freaking laser, and to set it all up takes time, and it's an expensive machine, and all these things. And I was talking to him for a little bit, and I guess after talking to me for a while, I can be not so much, I don't think persuasive is the word I'm looking for. I'm a very, for the most part, friendly and open, and usually people, after they talk to me for a bit, they're like, well, sure, it's a bit of a pain in the neck, but hey, why not? Plus, he had another set of keys he had to make for someone else. So it wasn't like he was doing it just for me. He was going to do those other keys at the end of the day, when there, I guess, less people around or something like that. So, oh, come on, people. Figure it out. God, people just do not know how to drive. So, now I've got like 3 valet keys that work for the car, which is good. It's what I was using for a while. I've got 3 key fobs with keys that work, so that's good. So the whole, only one key and only one fob saga for this car is done. And, no help from the dealership, but I guess if I'd actually lived closer, I might have gone over and, kind of been a little more demanding, but they're like an hour and a half away, this dealership, and it was like, am I really going to go all the way out there for some keys and a fob? It's like, take a day off work. And it's like, no, just forget it. Take care of it yourself. So I did. This morning, the Guy's Daily Drive that I did, you've probably seen it by now, assuming, I haven't looked at it, but assuming that the sound was okay and that everything else was all right with it. I did it from a slightly different angle with a slightly different mounting bracket, and I was very happy with that mounting bracket. So I will incorporate that at some point when I have somebody else here in the car. Now, what I still need to do is decide if I'm going to use my bank bucks and get another iPod Touch, or if I just want to use something I have laying around. I mean, I have other devices that I can use, I guess. They're just not as good. Sorry, excuse me. Last little bit about the dentist. I'm going to have the implants done on September 19th, if I haven't said that already. It's also a Wednesday. So that will get out of the way. Now, next week is going to be a kind of a short week for me. I'm taking, again, another Wednesday. It's weird that I'm taking another Wednesday off 3 weeks in a row. Except it's going to be fun. And I did kind of talk about this. My son Peter, my younger son Peter, and his girl fiance or friend, we're going to Hershey Park in Pennsylvania. And I'm hoping that Guy will be able to go, that he'll take that Wednesday off. I'm going to remind him of it again tonight, because it's been a long time since I've been on a trip with, both boys at the same time. And Hershey Park looks to be fun. So, we'll see. I really, really hope that, the problem is with Guy, he's very non-confrontational. And, he'll talk smack about stuff when it's his mother and me. But when it comes down to talking to people at work, talking to people in school, just confronting people over something that he's not happy with. Unless he knows you really, really well, he just doesn't have a tendency to do it. And he's put in a lot of time with this job, and he's handled the responsibilities occasionally all by himself on particular days. So to ask for one day off out of the unusual, I don't think is that big a deal, but it's going to depend on whether or not he wants to do it. He's looking to do some other stuff, working there. I'm not sure how much I can say, but what it is that he wants to do, or what it is that he's been asked to do, he may not get paid for it because it's kind of a under the table thing that somebody else is supposed to do but isn't doing. So I don't know if he'll be able to carry that through to the next step. And there's all kinds of office politics and reasons why things are the way they are where he works. And the good news is he actually has had a couple of interviews away from this particular job. And I would like to see him get out of there, because he's complained bitterly about this place. And I don't think he's real happy there. But they're, it's a steady gig. He's getting some money in. So I guess, he doesn't want to disturb rock the boat, disturb the status quo. I get that. But this is really the time for him to do something like that, because he's living at home, so his bills are minimum. He doesn't have rent, he doesn't have utilities. For the most part, doesn't have to worry about food. I'm sure it's kind of grating on him, being almost 24 and still living at home. But, a lot of us have been there. I went through that when I left Ohio and came here to Virginia, I spent like the first month and a half, 2 months that I was here in Virginia at my sister's house. And, same kind of thing. I didn't pay for rent. I didn't pay for food. I'm her brother. She's my sister. And those are the things that you do. If she needs me, then, I'm there. Because that's what family does. So I'm not really all that fussed about it. About Guy staying with us. It probably bothers him a lot more than it bothers his mother and me. But anyway, so Hershey Park is next Wednesday. I know I'm kind of all over the place here. Hershey Park is next Wednesday, and that's going to be fun. And then that Friday, Tracy and I are driving to New Jersey to attend the wedding of the daughter of a childhood friend of Tracy's. So, I can't remember. I've been through New Jersey on a number of occasions, usually staying in New York. I think the last time I actually spent any significant time in New Jersey was when I was doing some work in South Manhattan. And even then, I ended up only there for a few days because the hotel we were in, the Helmsley Hotel, kicked us out because they could charge more for the rooms from someone else because they're assholes. And I have avoided Helmsley hotels ever since. And what was her name? Sharona, I don't remember. She was the incredibly wealthy wife, I think, of the hotel chain originator or something, and apparently just a really, really awful person from what I understand. But it doesn't matter because I think she's dead now, so what are you going to do? So, but we're going to be in New Jersey. We're actually going to stay, Tracy arranged for all this, at a bed and breakfast. So we'll drive up on Friday. We're going to stop at my brother's house, my brother Sandy's house, and have lunch with he and his wife Marisa, which will be great. I haven't seen him in a while. And then up to New Jersey, and then the wedding this Saturday, and so that'll take up most of that day. And then we have Sunday, and that's our travel day back. And then it's not really the trip to New York that I was kind of hoping. I was hoping we were going to be able to go up there, not with the wedding going on, but go up there and see a show. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen, other than the potential for a show at a wedding, because you really never know what can happen at a wedding. I went to, when my kids were young, I went to a wedding for one of my former roommates, and the kids were all dressed up in their cute little suits and stuff. And when the music started, they were out on the dance floor. Guy was jumping around, doing all kinds of stuff. Peter, I've got footage of this someplace. Peter was doing the robot, which was just so hysterical. Anyway, I think that's going to be it. I've rambled long enough. If you would like to get a hold of me, best way to do it, or one way to do it, is send me email, guy@mymac.com. I am Mac Parrot on the Twitters. If you would like to help support the crazy stuff that I do, I am Mac Parrot, Guy Searle, over there on Patreon. And I am also Guy Searle / Mac Parrot over on Ko-fi, ko-fi.com, where you can make a one-time generous donation, as a few people have done. And thank you to everyone who has donated. I really, really, truly do appreciate it. It was very kind of you. Don't forget, you can find me on, well, sometimes on Wednesday night. I won't be on this Wednesday, but most Wednesday nights on Facebook, I do Mac to the Future Go. It's a live cast. Just look for my name, Guy Searle, and you'll find it. Then there's the granddaddy of them all, the MyMac.com podcast that I do with Gary Gazmaz Malpaz for a very, very long time. And I'll be recording with him, I think, hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. I haven't touched the show notes yet. It's been such a crazy busy summer that typically, we're like scrambling to put show notes in, so we got something to talk about. But it always works out because, we're both funny guys. So thanks for watching / listening, and I will catch you next time on Guy's Daily Drive.